Hello and welcome to Fashion Report Friday, the weekly video series trying to get you the most MGP possible from here in the Mandeville Gold Saucer every Friday when the judging begins for the Fashion Report minigame. This is week 207 and the theme this time around is none other than Party for One. The clues include Sugarloaf Sweet for your helm, Simple is best for your chest, Small Folk for your legs, and Jewels of Blue for your wrist slot. In this video we have a very easy 100 this week, an 80 with dies, and then the easiest possible 80 you can get for your alts, or if you just want the minimum amount of MGP. So without further ado, let's jump straight into that 100 score. Alrighty then, so this then is the combination of items that I had to put together to get a 100 today. And yeah, a lot of it is very easily accessible from vendors, and so I didn't really see much point in including alternatives this week. If you want to put alternatives in the comment section, feel free to do so. So first of all then, this is the helm I went for, which is equipable by all classes in the game, level 22 and above. All genders, every job, doesn't matter what you are, as long as you're level 22 on something, you can use this. This is actually the cotton Sugarloaf hat, and you can get this from NPCs, low-level city-state armor vendors, such as Gwalter here in the Steppes of Thal. This will cost you 771 gil. You can alternatively craft this with Weaver very inexpensively, but I would imagine that it's going to be very difficult to try and beat 771 gil. That's a pretty low amount of gil to be spending for a best in slot item for this week. Yeah, it's a very good item. I really don't see many points of, competition with this. I didn't think there was much points in listing alternatives for that. It's equipable by everyone. Go get it, basically. Simple as that. So then, for the chest, do we have the same look? Well, actually we do. We have the Rami shirt here, which is equipable by all classes, all genders of character, every job in the game, level 1 and above. So there we go. Doesn't matter what you are. You could be a botanist of level 1 and above. But of course, we've already got something that's level 22, so bear that in mind. The Rami shirt then is a very easy recipe with Weaver, very easily accessible, and on the market board it should be relatively cheap if you want to purchase it from someone else. I got mine this morning just quickly for less than 1,000 gil. It really isn't a big deal for me to spend less than 1,000 gil. I think it was like 900 and something, what's that really in the grand scheme of things? Not that much. But of course you can craft this or get this crafted. Very, very easy item to get. And once again, what's the point in alternatives when this is so incredibly inexpensive? For the legs then, I went for the Glade Slops. These are actually obtainable in the Gold Saucer. They'll cost you 1,000 MGP, which is probably one of the smallest amounts of MGP for a prize in here. You can get this from obviously the prize claim 1 vendor from the first option of prizes and under the armor section, and you can get this, like I say, for 1,000 MGP. 1,000 MGP is pretty much, I don't know, 5 minutes of work, something like that. Probably even less than that if you do the mini cactpot or any of the challenge log to do with the MGP. Honestly, spending 1,000 MGP to get back, 60,000 isn't that bad, is it really, in a grand scheme of things? Yeah, perfect slot, in my personal opinion. Very easy. So far, so good. Can we finish off easy? Yes, we can. We have the Lapis Lazuli Bracelet here for our bracelet slot. This is equipable by all classes in the game, level 28 and above. Doesn't matter what job or class, or if you're a botanist or a ninja or whatever you are, if you're level 28, then, you're sorted, aren't you, really? You can actually get this from any low-level jewelry vendor, such as Sileus in Uldar's Steppes of Thal. So you can obviously take the teleport to the Goldsmiths Guild, just walk around to Estame's Aesthetics, and on that vendor it will cost you 2,544 of your gil. Very easy to obtain, very cheap, And so far, this has only placed our equipment load up to the level of level 28 on any class in the entire game. That's pretty good. So yeah, if we look at this, it is really good. Equipable by anybody in the game, level 28 and above. Majority of that is going to be vendor purchased. As you can see, like 3 of those items, if you include MGP in that, and one of the items crafted with one of the easiest recipes in the game for Weaver. I'd say that is probably one of the easiest 100s we've seen probably ever. Yeah, I would say so. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's really, really pretty good. So let's move on to the dye options then. Why you would want to, but let's show you an 80 with dyes. Alrighty then, for your dye options this week, we have none other than Mesa Brown, Mesa Red on your weapon slot there. We have Soot Black on your helm, Soot Black on your body. We have Slate Grey on your hands. We have Dragoon Blue on those legs. And then we have, of course, Slate Grey once again on our boots. Very inexpensive dyes for the most part, but I would say the Dragoon Blue is probably going to be the most expensive of those options, considering that this is from Skybuilder scripts, or obviously the market board. Yeah, I mean, obviously a combination of bits and pieces is going to get you a high score regardless. It's nice to see Soot Black being used instead of Jet Black for a change, and some greys that are attainable. All in all, not too bad, but like I say, so far the 100 is actually probably more inexpensive than the dye options, which is quite hilarious really. But let's move on to the easiest 80 possible, because, well, it really is very, very easy this week. Alrighty then, so for the easiest 80 possible, obviously we just went for 2 of the vendor items. So the first vendor item I went for was the cotton Sugarloaf Hat, as we know from Gwalter or any other low-level city-state armor vendor in the 3 starting city-states. This one in Uldar for 771 gil, or alternatively crafted with Weaver, as we know, very inexpensively. And then the other item that gave us a gold slot was the Lapis Lazuli Bracelet, which of course is for 2,544 gil from a low-level jewelry craft vendor such as Sileus at Estame's Aesthetics in Uldar's Steps of Thal, just off from the mini Aetheryte for the Goldsmith Guild. Very, very easy. The only reason we've got 84 here is because of other items that just, have an item in a slot, get a star, basically. But it's really taking into consideration here the bracelet and the helm, which are both matched, and it's giving us an 80 and above here very easily. This is probably the easiest thing I've seen in a long time, especially for the 100 as well. That is incredibly easy. But, we're basically limited to a level 28 of any class in the entire game of any gender. I don't think you've ever had it that easy. Definitely put your MGP buffs on if you have them from your FC or personal buffs, and go and do this week. What have you got to lose? Literally nothing. I would say try out the 100 though, because really it's just 2 other items. One of them is from a vendor, and one of them is crafted with the most basic, weaving in the game. So yeah. Anyway, let me know if you've enjoyed this week, if that was helpful. Hopefully it was. Obviously, a link in the description will take you to the Reddit thread where this is theorized each week. Thank you to Kaya CoStar and the rest of the Reddit people who obviously talk about this and theorize every week, but also to the greater community that come together every week to actually theorize and come up with things and dye testing and all the rest of it. Without those people, these videos would not be possible. So anyway, much love, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.